Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be a little story time. The lowest point of my life. So I'm gonna talk about the time that I was placed on a 5150 hold. This was about 3 years ago, 2022, February 2022. Lowest point of my life. So this was during COVID. I remember all of this so clearly. So I had just been diagnosed with epilepsy. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically a neurological disorder, you could say, or condition. Basically, it's where you have seizures. So I had my first seizure in December of 2021. So I'll just get into it. Sorry guys if I'm talking kind of slowly. This is hard to talk about, I'll be honest, but I know there's some of you guys are probably going through the same thing that I've gone through. Same things that I've gone through in the past, so I just want to talk about it. So yeah, back to my epilepsy story. So December 2021, first seizure. I was at school during PE. This was sophomore year of high school. During PE, we were running around the track. I was running the mile, okay? And about, I want to say like halfway into it, it was hot for December, I'll just say that. So, and I didn't have water. So I'm running the mile. I start to feel really, really nauseous. And I wasn't really thinking anything of it, to be honest. Because I was just gonna drink some water and then I thought I'd be fine. Drink some water, go in the shade, take a rest, I thought I'd be okay. About 5 seconds later, after I started feeling nauseous, boom, I started having a seizure. I didn't even realize what happened. I just remember feeling nauseous, sitting down on the bench, and then boom, that's when I started having a seizure. That's what my classmates told me. I was sitting on the bench. And from what I know, I went from the bench to the ground, but I hit my head on the way down. I was sitting on the bench and my classmates told me I hit my head on the side of the bench and then fell on the ground. And then I woke up from the seizure. There was an EMT and a paramedic talking to me. I was still super out of it at this time, because if you guys don't know, after you have a seizure, you're really, really out of it. Like, so out of it. I was super nauseous after. Very out of it. I didn't know what happened. I was freaking out. They put me in on the stretcher. I go in the back of the ambulance. They're asking me questions, Have you ever had a seizure before? Did you drink any water today? How much water did you drink? Just a bunch of questions. I don't really know all the questions they asked me, but yeah. So I get to the hospital. They admit me to the pediatric ICU. I stay in there for a couple days. They give me some medication to take to help with the seizures, and I go home. Okay. The next week, I'm playing basketball with my family and a couple friends. I have another seizure. Again, I felt really nauseous before, and boom, I go to sit down, boom, I fall. Again, right on the concrete. Hit my head. Basically the same thing that happened the first time happened again. It was like a 5-minute long seizure. EMTs, paramedics show up. I go to the hospital, pediatric ICU again for like a couple more, like 3 days. Very scary. They put me on more medication. So at this point, I'm on 2 different seizure medications to try to control my seizures. Okay. 3 days later, I get out of the ICU, and it was good for like a week, I want to say, about a week or two. Then I started having more seizures, and this is what caused the depression. I'm having seizures. They're not being controlled by the medication. It's ruining literally my whole teenage years. I was just in my room, crying, depressed. I was thinking, why is this happening to me? I'm literally terrified to go out in public. Because what if I have a seizure at the grocery store, for example? And, you know, people are going to see it. You know, are they going to help me? Are they going to laugh at me? Are they going to film it? Like, you never know these days what people are going to do. I still believe that there's good people in the world, but I was just so nervous to go out in public. I didn't want to have a seizure in public. I was in my room. I wasn't eating. I was just so depressed. Why is this happening to me? Why am I having seizures? It was rough. And eventually, I just got to a point where I was like, you know, I just feel like, you know, life is not worth living. I'm literally depressed every day, stressed every day, having seizures every day. Guys, at this point, I was having a seizure every single day. So just imagine that. Imagine having a seizure every single day. It was rough. I'll just say that. So this is when things really went downhill. So I decided when I woke up one day that I was gonna, you know, try to, you know, end it. So I took a bottle of Advil and I just, you know, this is hard to talk about, guys, but I just, you know, tried to end it. I just took a bunch of Advils. And my mom comes in my room and she's freaking out because I'm not waking up. This is what she told me. She was like, I was not waking up. I wasn't moving. Barely had a heartbeat. All that stuff. She thought I was out. Like, she thought I was dead. So she calls the paramedics. They show up. I'm on the bathroom floor, throwing up from all the pills I took. They rush me to the hospital. I get there, and they put me on like a 5150, which I explained in the beginning of the video. 3 days in a psychiatric hospital. It's basically a hospital for like people that tried to end it, you know. So I was there for 3 days, and it was absolute hell. I hated it there. Like I hated it. They brought me there. They made me change into like this, not a prisoner outfit, but like I couldn't wear the clothes I was wearing at the hospital. I mean, I was obviously wearing like a hospital gown in the hospital, but I couldn't wear the clothes like normal clothes that I would wear like on a day-to-day basis. I'll just say that. So that was the first part that was terrible. And everyone there, I mean, they weren't like the nicest people. I'll just say that. So I just kind of kept to myself. I didn't talk at all. I was just very quiet. But basically, they paired me up with one roommate. And this person was, I think he had like schizophrenia or something. So I was just like terrified the whole night that he was gonna, you know, maybe do something to me. I don't know. You know, he has schizophrenia. You never know what he's gonna do. He's in a psych hospital. So I was just, couldn't get any sleep. It was terrible. Fast forward 3 days later, I was done with my psychiatric hold. I ended up getting out of there finally after 3 days. Probably the worst 3 days of my life, I'll be honest. It was bad. I hated it. I get out of the psychiatric hospital. My mom picks me up. I go home. She basically tells me, you know, I hope you never do that again. You know, obviously she's my mom. She cares about me. And I did feel really bad after. Like, she was crying. I felt so bad for, you know, trying to end it. Because, you know, obviously, if I actually did end it, her life would have been ruined. So, yeah. I felt so bad. Anyways, I made an appointment with a therapist to try to get my depression under control. I saw a therapist a couple times. I think I saw her like 3 or 4 times. It wasn't helping. I saw another therapist. Again, didn't really help me. Eventually, my seizures were under control. And I will tell you why now. So, turns out I also have celiac disease. I didn't know it at the time. That's what was causing my seizures to be so bad. Celiac disease is an autoimmune disease where if I eat gluten, or anyone with celiac disease eats gluten, their body makes antibodies, and those antibodies attack their small intestine. So it causes like stomach pain, anemia, fatigue, headaches, joint pain, seizures in some people. Just a ton of different symptoms. And I was very, very constipated. And my stomach was hurting all the time. I was very tired, and I was at headaches and seizures. Those were my celiac disease symptoms. Again, it's different for everyone. So eventually, they pinpointed why my seizures were so bad. They diagnosed me with celiac disease after a colonoscopy. They basically went inside, stuck a tube, like saw my small intestine with a video camera. They later, after that, they read the test results of the colonoscopy, and they found out that I had celiac disease. And they also did a blood test. So those two things, the colonoscopy and the blood test, confirmed that I had celiac disease. I saw a gastroenterologist after that, which is basically a doctor that specializes in like the stomach area and like those like diseases and disorders. So yeah, I am finally, I'm not seizure free. I wish I could say that. I wish I could say I'm seizure free, but my seizures are way, way more under control than they've ever been. I'll just say that. I haven't had a seizure in like 3 months, so I'm happy, you know. I wish I was seizure free. Like, unfortunately, can't say that because I still do have like smaller seizures, not the ones where I go unconscious. So I do have seizures sometimes. Haven't had a big seizure in 3 months though, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, guys, I just wanted to share my story with you guys because I know there's people out there who are going through rough times. I went through a very rough time. Again, lowest point of my life. So I just want you guys to know you guys are not alone at all. I hope you guys did enjoy this little story time video. Peace out, guys.